Boys, everyone, welcome back to a brand new video. And today we got some fun stuff picked out. There's a bunch of cars that I haven't gotten the chance to tackle yet in the game, and one of them I actually ended up trying it out today, and it had so much horsepower. It was probably one of the funnest cars I've gotten to use in this game. So I ended up wanting to do a few things with it. I wanted to try it out in some races, obviously, but then I also want to try it out in some drift zones. And there's a few drift zones around the map where I haven't even come close to touching my score since I got the game. So I figured today's probably our best chance to go ahead with this car because it has so much horsepower. We're gonna throw it in all-wheel drive to take full advantage. But let's actually get ourselves into the car. And the car in question actually used to be super rare in Forza Horizon 4. It was a $20 million car. For whatever reason, Forza just gave it out to everyone. I'm happy about that in this game because it is an unbelievable car that I haven't really touched at all, and especially in all-wheel drive with some of the engine swaps you can do in this thing, it's absolutely nuts. So I don't know exactly everything I want to do to this car, but we should definitely head on over to upgrades and tuning and customize and see what we can do. Now, I do want to start with the body kits because there are some really cool ones we can pick out for this car. I don't know if I love that one so much. I think the first one honestly looks the best. And as far as spoilers, I kind of enjoy the duck wing. That's been my favorite with this car in all the games I've used it in. And unfortunately, the skirt doesn't go super low. It used to in Horizon 4. You can make this thing really wide bodied actually. They kind of took some of that customization out in this game, but it's fine because the car's performance is still what it used to be. So as you can see with engines, this is some of the most engine customizations in all of Forza. Toyotas generally have the highest amount. I don't want to do an inline. I think what we're gonna do, honestly, we might toss in the racing here. Okay, that takes away my turbo, so I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna do a V8 and then I'm gonna throw twin turbos on there, and this is gonna give us a lot of horsepower. I'm gonna just play around with a few things and just see what the most horsepower we can get is. Okay, so we actually got it figured out here. It was the final engine. It used to be really weird in Horizon 4. It wasn't obvious which one gave you the most power. In this case, it was the inline, the racing engine. So we're gonna toss that on the car. We already have in all-wheel drive. We have to fill out a few more things, but pretty much all this is just gonna be race spec. And since we're gonna drift with it first, I'm gonna put drifting suspension on. When we decide to come back and race with it, if we do that, I'm gonna switch that out. But for now, obviously the drifting suspension the best go. And then yeah, all of this stuff, I think I'm just gonna go with 7-speed since we are drifting it. We don't need a ton of gears, and then obviously we want the drift differential, and that should be all. I put a drift tire on there. I'm actually gonna change the rims, something nice. I'm a really big fan of these ones. They're kind of matted out in black, so we're gonna toss those on, a little bit concaved. And honestly, that's gonna be it. It is gonna be kind of pricey, and I already spent a bunch of money on the first time through saving a setup, so this was like a $140,000 car, but I think it's definitely going to be worth it because from what I remember in Horizon 4, this was the best drifter. I'm just going to quickly go through, put some drifting tune stuff on here, and I'll show you guys what I come up with. So what we ended up coming up with is honestly pretty good. Just drop the tire pressure a little. I always do my gearing ratios the same for all these drift cars. I kind of just make it a really short arc. That way, if you need like a little more power, you can flip gears, but not lose out on too many RPMs. I don't know. I find it works best that way. Alignment, I always max out the camber. Boostiest always gets me for that. And then the toe, again, generally very similar things. This is the tuning setup that works for me when I'm drifting. It might be different for you guys. I'm not sure about the split. We're gonna have to figure that one out, but everything else should be good. So we're gonna install this and pick a dope paint job. Honestly, just something casual like this. I'm kind of a big fan of this. I don't know if it's gonna let me apply that one. So I pulled the gearing back a tiny bit. I just tested it out quick. Other than that, everything's perfect. This car is amazing at drifting. I'm gonna try this drift zone first. I don't know if this is gonna be my best angle for it, but it has so much horsepower that no matter where you are in your drift, like in pretty much whatever gear you're in, it's very easy to come back out of it and just really crank it up. So that wasn't really a good attempt. But again, I haven't tried that one in quite a while, so we're gonna go back the other way. This thing is unbelievable at drifting. and it looks so nice. This paint job with the gold tires, amazing. So we really need a good entry on this that's gonna carry us through the entire drift zone, and I did not have it there. This is definitely the car though. I can feel, oh my goodness, we already got 40,000 on our second attempt. I think when I got my best when I came from this side, so we're gonna try this side. Now, all my high scores have been gotten through using the AE86. That was such a good entry. Oh, I screwed that one up so bad. That could have been it. Now they're 39,000. But all my high scores have been through the Toyota 86. Not this one, actually, like the Trueno, everyone's favorite. So it would be nice to get some, like, obviously, I guess Toyotas are my favorite point drifting cars. I should try a BMW. But anyways, I think I'm coming in with a bit too much speed here and not enough angle, because there we go. This could be perfect. 41,000 that time. I don't know how in the world I got 55,000. That's insane. This is gonna be a tough one. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to beat this one. I might have to go find one of my lower ones, but I'm gonna give it a couple more tries. Okay, as fun as this car is, I've kind of found myself really hard stuck around like 41,000 points. I'm not too sure what it is about this car, but yeah, 40-ish thousand points. That's kind of where I've been stuck around on this one. Maybe it's just too short, so we're gonna take it to a longer drift zone with some more wide sweeping turns and see what we can do over there. So there's a new drift zone here that's definitely on dirt though, so I don't want to touch that. And this one spans pretty far, I believe, and it's got some nice sweeping edges, so I think we're gonna try over here. My best is 470,000. These are gonna be tough to beat, but I think we can do it. And we're probably gonna know after like 1 or 2 runs how close we're gonna be. Even if this doesn't end up being an insane point drift car, it's just a super smooth drifting car. Like, it's very, very easy to control. And yes, I know it's all-wheel drive and people are gonna have things to say about that in the comments. But when it comes to point drifting, all-wheel drive is what you want. And I know it's not technically drifting, but we got some really good angle around that corner. I think when I did this in the Trueno, I'd already had a few thousand more points by this point, but we're still gonna keep trying because you never know. We had a mishap there. Hopefully that doesn't come back to hurt us too bad. I'm doing a lot of swerving here. I need to get some more solid corners around here. If we do bad, it has nothing to do with the car and is likely just because I have not point drifted in this game pretty much since it released. So I got to get back into it, try grinding for some more top scores. I used to be top 100 on a couple drift zones when the game came out, but now obviously there's a lot more people playing the game, so it's gonna be a lot more work getting up there. But honestly, this car not touching our high score, we're gonna try from this side again. Still did insanely good though. That's such a smooth car to drift in. I love this car. I just had such a beautiful entry and I killed it around that second corner. I just murdered my score. It could have been so good. This is actually a really good corner for us if I don't go off. Wow, this car is amazing. And that's why I keep my gears very close, because now I can kind of flip between 1 or 2, and when I'm redlining, it gives me a little bit more distance, but it's, you know what I mean? It's kind of hard to explain, but I watched a drifting tutorial or how to make drifting tunes back on Horizon 4, and I've kind of followed it ever since then, and it's worked out really well. So if you guys are trying to learn how to tune drift cars, honestly, just what I've shown you today, you can do for any car, and it works for rear wheel drive too. It's not just an all-wheel drive drift build, and I don't think the other way was going to be our better bet, but still, this car did some amazing drifting on here. We might actually beat our score, but not the 470. I don't think we're going to beat that one today, but we beat our score going the opposite way, so we were getting better, but this is not my top point drifting car. It's just so fun. We're gonna go do one more spot though. So this one right here, it's nice and little, but it has a wide sweeping corner. I want to see if I can chain that whole thing perfectly. So we're gonna start on this side, get a bit of speed and just see what we can do. But I'm in love with this car. I should have been using it far more in this game. This is pretty much my first experience actually using it to point drift or to its fullest potential with all this horsepower. And the engine sounds insane too. It's hard to keep in a straight line. Like if I really wanted to, I don't think I could. And I wanted to keep that whole corner and I kind of did. And we're in 5th gear and it was still giving us smoke and spinning the back tires, which is unbelievable how much power this car has. So much fun to drive. Definitely one of my favorite cars in the game, and honestly this is like my dream car. 170,000. I know that's not a personal best. We got 233,000, but honestly decent score. I point drifted this one a lot too. Back when this game first came out, I put in so much work. We're gonna give it a few more runs. This run has actually been phenomenal. I almost broke 190. So this car can get there. I just don't think I have the practice with it just yet. I need a little more speed. And it's just been a while since I've drifted, but amazing build on this. I'm definitely gonna upload this tune and I'll put the code if you guys don't want to remake it yourselves. Well, yeah, we're gonna do one last run here and see if we can get any magic to happen from this. So unfortunately, we're not gonna be beating our score, but I can feel myself getting back in the rhythm of point drifting. We're definitely getting better by the end here. So probably on the next episode, I don't know if we'll do this car again. We might try something else. I think I'm gonna be able to beat some scores eventually, but yeah, I haven't touched any of them since this game came out and it's kind of bugging me. I don't think we're gonna try racing this car today just because the drifting has been so phenomenal. This really is a drift car. Such a beautiful build, and this paint job for it is just like the best thing I've ever seen. So anyways, boys, if you made it all the way through to the end, let me know down below. It really does mean a lot, and I had such a fun time driving this car today. We have a few crazy ones picked out for this week, so if you're not already subscribed, make sure you hit that bell and that red button down below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like. As always, we're gonna see you boys in the next video. My goodness, look at this thing drift. I'm out. Oh, peace.